We're going back into our database here to create another type of question. We already have one that's a paragraph type or essay type. So let's go over here to multiple choice and select that. Title it again. We'll stay with Emily Dickinson here, but I'll put a 1 after it so I can separate these later on if I need to. Actually, your title really needs to give you a little more indication of what this is about. Make it something you can recognize later on if you can. And here's our question. What point of punctuation does Dickinson often use in an unusual manner? Whichever of these happens to be the correct answer, click on the correct answer box, and it's a dash that she often uses, and you need to assign 100% to the value of the correct question, correct response, I'm sorry. The others you can fill in with anything, of course. And when you get your answers in there, click on Save here at the bottom. But be sure that you fill in this 100% here as you write in your correct response. What this is telling the program is that whatever this question is worth, if this question is worth 5 points, 2 points, 10 points, 100% of whatever it's worth is going to be associated with this response. So if there are 5 points apiece, you have 20 questions. This one, if the student picks this response, he gets 5 points. What this actually allows us to do, if you wanted to do it, was to give partial credit for some responses down here. So it could be worth 50% of the correct response or 30% of the correct response or something like that. But very few people actually do that. So most folks just fill in 100% here and have one correct answer. We get it like we want it. Click Save. And now see we have 2 questions here in our database. Tells me this one is multiple choice and this one is a paragraph type. Go back over to our categories area, and we see that this category we just created, lesson 3, is the one we're looking at now. Really what probably needs to happen is that you have a separate category for each lesson. If you have a quiz for each lesson, say 20 lessons in the course, 20 quizzes in the course, then separate those out into 20 different categories here in your database so that you have a database, a quiz question database for each of your lessons and each of your quizzes. And that will make things very easy to change out later on, as you may want to have multiple sets of questions for each quiz. So each semester I can go back into my database and take my first set of questions in the fall semester perhaps and my second set of questions for that same chapter or lesson and just change those out here in the database without having to go back and rewrite my questions every time.